just also want to thank every one of you media for coming by. Thank you for your support last year and your support for the last 47 years of our life as a nation. Our country is a robust democracy, despite many of the negativities and headlines that sort of permeate doom and gloom sometimes, but nonetheless we keep on going on, we keep on surviving. I just want to state from up front as we start 2023. Every citizen right across the length and breadth of our country must be positive, must have an element of contributing to your country, wherever you are, from the ordinary village person to those of us who are privileged to be in positions of work. I want to speak positive to all of us out there. Our country is in a good place, despite the struggles we're going through. I mean, you look at this year, we are operating now a 24 billion kina budget. This sort of money figure was never known before. Our nation has never gone past a 20 billion kina budget mark up till the last 2 or so years when we pushed past the 20 billion kina threshold. This year we have 24 billion kina budget we are operating, and our country is moving in the right space. I just want to, right from our front, ask every citizen of our country to be positive. In the education sector, as I announced some of our core priorities for this year, education sector remains a big priority. We already released 50% of what is earmarked for the tuition fee free. We've already also released 50%, if not a little bit more, for what is earmarked for project fee, and we've also released money, about 50% each, for help and tests. So schools are ready to start now. I'll just give you the exact figure here. I wrote in my note as I was going through my work today. For lower education, we released 326 million kina already. So it's been worked in education department to send to all our schools right across our country. Project fee, 80 million kina has gone out to all our schools, or is in the process of going out to all the schools. Treasury and Finance has made the disbursements. And in the higher education space, 50 million kina for this year's TESAS, the Tertiary Student Scholarship Assistance, as well as the higher education loan program. We released 40 million. I just want to say thank you to the education department and the higher education department for holding the fort last year. Last year was not an ordinary year. We were coming out backdrop of the contest for office in the first half of the year, as well as the second half of the year. We were settling into office, and so I want to appreciate the governing councils of all our schools right throughout our country who were able to hold on to the schools and kept our schools running until we retired 2022 academic year. As we start 2023 academic year, let me state from our front, we have money in budget sufficient to cater for what is earmarked as for tuition and earmarked for the student enrollment in colleges and universities. Please let no student be outside of being registered. Those fundings that is coming to you, those who have accepted acceptance letter and are accepted to be enrolled in whether it's the lower education institutions or the higher education institutions, I just want to ask our school administrators out there, let no child stay outside. If he is accepted or she is accepted, please let him come in to study. Many times we have the project fee excuses that keep students outside. For those of us who are working, maybe 600 kina, 200 kina, 300 kina is within reach to pay, but the rest of Papuans who aren't working, this sort of money too sometimes is hard to find. So education, we are on target to start up school year on time. I just want to ask through this media, all schools right across our country, from the lowest in the preschools to the highest in our universities, to please support our students who've been accepted to be enrolled, be registered. We will get a higher education department and the education department to work through with all our school administrations right across our country to ensure that your fee requirements are sorted out by government, because it is a clear government policy. School fees will be paid by our government. If there's any issues in terms of the implementation on these matters, you don't need to hold the students accountable, get them registered, hold the government accountable. We work through ensuring that the schools, colleges and universities are given support. In the health sector, 2.3 billion kina in this year's budget just for the health sector alone. And that's statistics-wise almost 30% plus increase in the last two years. We've been coming through since 2021, when we had a program on supporting the health sector in a big way, especially our focus to get the provincial hospitals being delivered, as well as our 2 specialist hospitals being progressing as far as specialist care is concerned. Let me announce that later this year we will possibly be opening up the Port Moresby specialist care, especially cancer facility, and the heart and specialist care facility in Port Moresby, as well as the lay facility. These 2 major referral hospitals we almost complete in the specialist care program. I do not want in the life of me to myself be medevaced outside, to be taken care of in as far as my medical needs are concerned. That is why we're moving full steam to deliver specialist care in a hospital, whilst we maintain the other recurrent programs in our hospitals, including our signature program to work on delivering new provincial hospitals. We've paid off what is owing to our contractors in Goroko Hospital. We paid off what is owing to our hospitals in Wewak Hospital. We at the moment now trying to progress Kimbe, Southern Highlands, Hela Province, and Central Province, 4 hospitals that are marked to be progressed this year, as well as the rest of our provinces. The hospitals will be ticked off in the next 3 to 4 years in this medium term that is coming. Sometimes next month I'll be in Wewak for the Wewak Hospital opening. That is a project that was sanctioned by the last government. My government was given the honor of paying off our PNG government's counterpart funding, and we will be going there to take it off. I just want to also announce over $1 billion kina has been put in budget for our infrastructure and Connect PNG funding. All parts of our country will be covered in the Connect PNG footprint. Most of you would have heard myself and my sister Kessy here was with me when we drove from Tari to Kikori, Kikori to Hagen, and Hagen to Medek in a 3-day sort of journey. We were privileged to take this journey for the first time now. We would drive from a southern town to a northern town. So we successfully drove from Kikori to Medek, and I will tell you the road condition may not be good, but you are able to now drive from the south side to the north side. That's Connect PNG at work as I speak today. We have road being punched from the Magi Highway facing Alatau. As I speak today, we have road from Miniama facing Kantipa being punched to cross over into the Gulf side. As I speak today, we have road from Kugab, Tabubil, Telefomin being punched. We're only 13 kilometers from crossing over into the headwaters of Sipik into Telefomin. And these are the missing links, but we're also giving support to the major roads that we have running so that they are maintained and rehabilitated. And you will hear more of my drives from the roads that we have been connecting today, and some of you are most welcome to join me in some of the drives we'll be doing. One of my drives that is coming up is possibly from Kimbe to Kokopo, or I will be doing that Kimbe to Telefomin. So keep a lookout for this. You're most welcome to join with me on the rough roads. But this is our focus on our roads. I just want to encourage our people right across our country. And I spoke in Wapamanda, in the district roads or the provincial roads that we had running in the last 2 years. We now lumped allocation as district infrastructure in this year's budget. It will be a kina for kina sort of program. If a district feels that this is an important road and you allocate a kina, national government will match with a kina. that's a policy we announced. And we're looking forward to working with districts, working with provinces, working again on our own at the national level to ensure our Connect PNG is opening up link with all parts of our country. We are at the moment in discussion with ADB and other developed partners for partnership again in some of the key missing links, like unlocking Karamui, unlocking Jimmy, unlocking Pomio, some of the key missing links right throughout the length and breadth of our country, including the key roads in the special autonomous region of Bougainville. We also have port programs that are running, and I want to place on record my thank you to Australian government for over 1.5 billion kina worth of programs. Kimbe Port, Rabaul Port, Kevian Port, Oro ports, some of the major ports in our country are being given facelift for the first time, and for them to be a safe place for import, export, and allow for free flow of our economy and the trading that does take place in those ports. Our airports are being progressed at the moment as I speak. Tari Airport, Manda Airport, terminals. I was in Medang, I saw Medang, I was not happy with the Medang size, and I asked Civil Aviation to relook at the Medang size. It's a bigger place, needs to have a bigger sort of terminal, so we're now working with National Airport Corporation to relook at the size in Medang. Najab is going on very, very well, funded by a partnership with Japan. And so those that are being run, we hope to take them off this year, and we'll be looking at other programs, Kokopo, WeWork, and few other airports, including Kerama, Daru. So these are programs that are earmarked, but right across our country, these enabling infrastructures are being worked upon. I just want to tell our citizens, don't be bogged down with doom, gloom, and others who spread fear. These enabling infrastructures must carry our economy. And I made an important point in Wapamanda, and I just want to re-emphasize this one again, that the roads, the ports, the jetties must carry our economy. And the roads that we build in two places, cacao, copra, coffee, vanilla, palm oil, tourism inflows, or our forestry, sustainable forestry harvest, and other economic activities must grow. And as far as our economy is concerned, as I move to economy, we're targeting each family in our country based on what we want to do in our support to agriculture, in our support to SME. We want each family to be raising almost 10,000 kina a year. You ask me 10,000 kina a year is possibly hard, but I tell you it's not hard, it's quite easy. I give you an example. My mother sits in Tari Market. In a year she sells about 1,000 cabbages she grows. One cabbage is sold for about 10 kina. So she would be earning 10,000 kina in a year. Simple mathematics, simple business, things that she is familiar with doing. And so I focus on coffee price support, cacao price support, copra price support, interventions in oil palm as a bigger business that we want to partner with our state equity funding. Minister Maru was able to secure through his cabinet paper. These are all geared towards growing economy, and I want to encourage our people. When we are building roads into these places, I want at the back of these roads the produces to be worked upon to come out. And people ask me, Mr. Prime Minister, where do we get the money for the startups? And I point to them, you're not paying school fee this year, hello. So the money that you would have paid for school fee this year, what are you doing? At least there's a little that you could start up with. The fact that state is paying for school fee from elementary all the way to university means Papua New Guineans have in your pocket, you've retained over 1 billion kina. You're not paying government, you're not paying schools. So that money for you, if I was a person out there looking for meaningful engagements, I should be really thinking about going into the space of economy, using the land that I have back home to get into agriculture. And from the studies that we've done in my office, 1 hectare of land for coffee could deliver a family up to 21,000 to 24,000. 1 hectare. That's in coffee. And we'll come back to you with the statistics for cacao, copra, vanilla, and oil palm. The number is there. It justifies Papua New Guineans who are doing nothing to get out there and state in partnership with districts and provinces. We are willing to buy produces that our people are producing back home where they come from. I want to also, lastly but not the least, and by the way, this is a talk on economy. We focus and we are on track to get our economy to be a 200 billion economy at the very, very earliest. But I was in this podium 3 years ago, our economy was an 80 billion economy. In the last 3 hard years, our economy has moved past 80 billion into 110 billion economy today. You ask IMF, you ask World Bank, you don't ask me, they will tell you and confirm this figure. If all of us get together and work, and if for instance, 1 million Papua New Guinean families through agriculture and 10,000 kina a year, we all contributing to a 10 billion kina economy for our country. Simple as that. It just requires all of us to think big and work the small space you are in right now, instead of wasting time on Facebook and WhatsApps and every other places in the highways and byways of Port Moresby. We should be getting our hands dirty. Let me also thank IRC and Treasury, Customs for being prudent in their work last year. They were able to successfully generate good revenue for us to allow us to retire what we envisaged to collect last year. We collected fully, and I am totally confident that they will be working full top speed again this year. And we are on target to deliver again one more successful work year for each and every one of us in our country. Lastly but not the least, let me speak on the issue of law and order. Whilst growing the economy and working in infrastructure, and education and health is government's core focus areas. Law and order too is our government core focus areas. It can be, but it is, unfortunately. If all our citizens, and this is the core of my message to the country as I do this first press in 2023, every citizen of this country live within law, then the 24 billion kina budget we will be handing down this year can be put elsewhere to key focus areas. Unfortunately, law and order has been a big thorn on the side for our country. It pained me so greatly last week to read an incident of a young guest in our country being abused in beautiful New Ireland. It really, really pained me. I was this sort of thing must not happen back in our country. And to every young youth out there looking for meaningful engagements, my government, pro-indigenous Papua New Guinean to be in business. We're opening every avenue for you to be in business. You'll earn much far better money in vanilla producers, oil palm producers, cacao producers, coffee producers, or yourself going to tourism activities. Why engage in lawlessness that destroys our country's reputation and images? In places like New Ireland, Manus, East and West New Britain, Milne Bay, Medang, East and West Sepik, these are premium areas for us to start to get engaged and move in the space of tourism and other industries. And I appeal to all our citizens. Law and order is your responsibility. My responsibility, the three of us, and the public service minister, the government's responsibility to make sure we support school, health, infrastructure, rural economy, find ways for you to get engaged formally in the economy. Your business, our citizens' business, is to manage and assist government manage the law and order issues in our country. We must live in a lawful manner. We must live in an orderly manner. For those who don't want to live in a lawful and orderly manner, for this year we've allocated more money than ever before to police. We've allocated more money ever before to the ministerial services. Ministerial services has never been given great attention. This year, my government has given them 18 million kina plus just to get them to ensure that the magistrates are working to attend to the summary offences. And we've given more money to the judiciary. But not only just judiciary and ministerial service and police, we're putting more money also to independent commission against corruption. That is to be set up. We've already appointed the commissioner and 2 deputy commissioners, 1 from New Zealand, 2 from Australia. No link to any one of us. They will come in to ensure this is set up. This is all geared towards all of us in the white collar sector as well as in the rest of the space in our country. to try and live in a country that permeates good law and order, where every citizen is abiding by law. So it may not have happened in the last 3 years. It may not happen right away in the next 3 months, 3 days, 3 weeks. But we are working to ensure that police is stepped up, arrests are made, prosecutions are delivered, and justice is dispensed with. You'll be hearing of me this year visiting correctional institution facilities. And so for those who choose to be on the wrong side of law always, it may not have caught up with you up till this point in time, but we have not been sleeping. What we need to do as government in terms of amending laws, passing legislations, and now we're matching the institutions we're setting up, and our intent to support police, magistrates, and judiciary better. We put money now and we're working with those key law enforcement agencies and law protection agencies to ensure they are delivering to expectations. So I just want to inform our people up front. It does you no good, it does your country no good to be on the wrong side of law, whether it's white-collar offenses or everyday law and order offenses. If you're happy that we talk about take back PH and you want us to grow our country and fight for your country's right, let government do what we have to do, but the call to every citizen, especially to all my sons and the youths out there. In early February, a National Volunteer Program in partnership with Defense to mobilize all our youths come out there who are not back in school. We'll see those who are going to school and those who are left in society, mobilizing them. I just want to call out all our male youths. You are an agent of change in your society. 2023, let's make a new start. Let's respect our sisters and our mothers. Let's respect our country. Rest from lawlessness, because if you aren't, don't come cry to me about human rights. We're going to go down a tough way. Enough is enough. We want to order our society in a better way. I've put big money to police. Thankfully, my colleagues in Parliament support me. We put good money in magistrate and we put good money in the judiciary. And this will be the start of investing in these key sectors going forward. But I don't want to go down this road. I want our citizens to be within the side of law, so we shift the money elsewhere to key enabling focus areas for our country. But nonetheless, I just want to conclude by saying focus on law and order will be ramped up this year. For those who choose to be on the wrong side of the law, you'll be dealt with. Don't ask me, don't say why this is happening, Mr. Prime Minister. I've told you so from the first conference I've had in my address to our nation. All right, thank you very much. This is something I thought I had to speak to all of you in the media so that you could transmit in your various platforms.